This is Seth Rich. He worked for the DNC. A lot of people believe that he was the leaker of the DNC emails that is believed to have cost Hillary Clinton the election. Oh yeah, and he's dead. On July 10, 2016, he was said to have been the victim of a robbery where nothing was stolen from him. He still had his watch and his wallet and his cell phone. So that's probably real, right? Even though there's no evidence for this, that he was shot in the back with intent and they wouldn't take anything. But that's a robbery, right? Well, if that's a robbery, I'm a giraffe named Susan. Rich's family hired a former MPD homicide detective to run a private investigation, and this detective believes there is a cover-up and the police have been told to back down from the investigation. Pretty suspicious if this actually had to do with a botched robbery and not a big government conspiracy. Russian hacker Gustafer 2.0, who's also assumed to be dead now, has said that there was no DNC hack and that his whistleblower was in fact Seth Rich. There is new evidence on Seth Rich's computer that he did have communication with Wikileaks. No one seems to know for sure where this computer is being held for some reason. Right now, we just need to wait for that information from that computer to be exposed to the public and hopefully not buried like everything else about this. Also, the name Seth Rich happens to perfectly fit in the redacted space in the batch of FBI released Hillary Clinton emails. What a coincidence! So what does this mean? This seems to suggest that Seth Rich was the DNC whistleblower during the 2016 election and not the Russians. There's a reason that the DNC still hasn't released their servers to the FBI, even though they allege that the servers were hacked into. It would be like me calling the cops saying that my house has been broken into, but when the police arrive to investigate, I don't let them inside. It's a little weird. Seth also happened to die mysteriously in a way that doesn't make sense and there's no evidence for, and the police are not able to investigate further. It's like they have so much hubris now that they aren't even trying because they feel like they can get away with anything, including murder, because they do. Now, who could have orchestrated this murder? Well, it's not hard to imagine who would have the most to lose by this email leak. If you're not convinced that this ties back to Hillary or Podesta, there's also this. In a John Podesta leaked email from February 22, 2015, John Podesta writes, "I'm definitely making an example of the suspected leaker, whether or not we have any real basis for it." Make an example how, John? By shooting them in the back and calling it a robbery? Where is the mainstream media on this? I've only seen a couple of reporters cover this, like Fox or Sean Hannity. Where's the Wall Street Journal, MSNBC, or CNN? I read a Washington Post article saying that the story was untrue because the family of Seth didn't think he was leaking information. I don't know about you, but I probably wouldn't be telling my family over breakfast any government secrets that could get us all killed. This is a big story no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on. This is a pretty big elephant in the room not to be talking about. So if you're not going to report on it, or you're going to say it's fake news, or you're not allowed to talk about it because you'll end up in a botched robbery, just admit that you're owned by the Democrats so we can all move on. Thank you.